Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University.
Hi students, welcome to the Chaitanya studio of Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University. Today we are going to study unit 3 of module 1, that is groups of module 1, that is human skills, personality and groups. Let us understand what is mean by groups. Today our learning objective of this session is we will study difference between the teams and groups. Then we will study types of groups. Then we will understand the importance of groups for organization and why individuals join groups. Later we will understand various stages of group formation, issues related to group conformity. Lastly, we will study the concept of group norms, group goals and group emotions with the concept of group dynamics. What do you mean by group? Why it is different from team? We understand the team and the word group is different. We need to study what is the difference between both of them. Team is a group of 2 or more person works for similar goal is known as team. In organization, different departments have their team to work for a similar goal, and in groups means 2 or more individuals come together is known as groups. We will see groups, types of groups, how it is different from team. Let us start. Team, as I said, team is a small number of people with complementary skill. Complementary skill means in a team you will find one designer, one architect, one concept maker, one leader, and you will see in your classroom also, if you go for any project, you will see if you have a team, you have built a team, you will take different type of individuals who have complementary skills to each other to complete that project. Committed to a common purpose, team always committed to a common purpose, performance goals and approach for which they are mutually accountable. Next, definition of groups. Groups means groups consist of 2 or more individuals who have come together to achieve particular goal. Groups can be formal, groups can be informal. Formal group can be formed for a specific job goals, but if it is informal group, it may be your friendship, it may be some interest which you both or 2 individuals come together, like if you are interested in playing carom. So, what you will do? You will find a person who have similar interest and you both will play as a team for that particular game. Next, here it is a chart, it is a types of groups. How many types of groups we will understand through this chart? There are 4 different type of purposes or we can say 4 main different types where groups are formed. By size, if we talk about, by size may be of large number, may be of small numbers. So, size is small or large. Number 2 purpose is types like by purpose, like 2 or more people come together who have similar task group, similar tasks. So, they form a group. Next, coalition. Coalition means to come together, to merge, that is coalition. Then cohort. Cohort means similar type of background, like if you are college students, you come together in a class for study. You all the students in your class all have similar kind of background. So, they all are cohort. Interest group, as I said, if you are interested in playing carom, what you will do? You will find a similar interest human, similar interest of a person. If you will try to find the person who has similar interest in playing the same game as you like to play. So, interest group also form a group. Then by tenure, if I have one project, it is only for 15 days. So, one time after completing that particular project, maybe of 15, maybe of 1 month, maybe of 6 months, after completing that particular project, what will happen? We all will disperse, we all will, the team will then disperse, quit. So, it is one time group. Next is ongoing. Ongoing means I am a HR person. If I am a leader, I am a manager in HR department. My project is to give performance appraisal, to find out a proper guy for to take a interview. So, what will happen? Once I complete my particular project of recruiting 5 people, and in after, if similar way after 15 days my organization need more 10 number of peoples, what I will do? I will go for next interview. So, this is ongoing projects where time on time I have to perform the similar task. Then by position, as I said, formal and informal. Formal means where a number of peoples come together, like in organization, number of peoples come together for working on particular vision, for working on particular group, for particular goal. Next, if I talk about informal group, then if you are coming by bus, what will happen? If you take a 8 o'clock bus, at the same time you will find more number of people around you who were there to pick, who were there with you for that particular bus. So, if it happens for 15 to 20 days, what will happen? You will, or you all become a one group who were there in a bus stop for particular number of bus. So, this type of groups form in and they are known as informal groups. If you have one game, if you have football competition in your school, in your college, and from your class you are selected, from other class someone else is selected. Like way in your whole college, if you find 15 or 20 number of people who were selected for different kinds of game, you all become a group for particular game, for particular sports day. Then once you achieve, you complete that, once you complete that project, once your task completed, once you won the game, then your group will disperse. Means this is, we can say, informal group also. This is, we can take it as one time group also, one time project also. Next we will see why it is important. So, importance of groups for organization. Why we need groups in organization? We must have this question in our mind. If one person can do, why we need 15, 25 number of people to work on the project? We need to understand it. Decision made by groups are effective and quick, because one person, one human have limited thinking. So, if we add some more numbers, it will always create an effective, it will always be an effective team. So, there you will have number of people who come together for that particular work. You will have different type of ideas. Then a richer perspective is obtained on any topic, because if you find different number of people, every individual will have some or other skills. So, they will contribute and you will have richer perspective. Then is productivity increases due to group decision makings. when many number of people, when your team comes together and they will discuss on a particular point, what will happen? You will have your productivity will increase and you will have a very good perspective. Next, enables harmonization of social and technical systems. Why do individuals join group? We have discussed why organization needs groups. Now we will see why individuals need group. The individual derives his or her identity through membership of a group as they invent into, commit themselves to and interlock different group of membership, satisfy their needs for safety, belongingness and esteem needs. As we have seen in Maslow theory, after completing 4 stages, we will go for self-esteem, where we need to identify ourselves by others. So, that is type of satisfaction we always try to get. So, when we join any group, like you must have observed, many of your friends' father are a member of some particular club, and you will ask them for some, like if that club have some competition like Garba competition, we will start asking for passes. So, what is that? That is self esteem for them, that they are registered themselves in an group, in an club, where people identify them that this particular person is in that particular, this person is member in that particular club. So, individuals always join group for their safety, for their belongingness, for to satisfy their esteem needs. Next, how groups are formed? It is very important. Within the organization, as I said, formal groups are created officially and designated by formal authority to serve as a specific purpose. Then formal groups include work group and committees, and informal groups emerge unofficially, as I had given you one example of bus stop, are not officially organized. How groups are formed? In that, informal groups are spontaneously created. If you come together in marriage of your friend, what will happen? If you have 2-3 similar interest people, if you find 2-3 humans, 2-3 friends who are unknown to you, but they are related, they are relative of yours, will come together and you all will become you all form a group, and you will suddenly say, you will suddenly ask their numbers and will create a group. So, this is spontaneously created when the group members are located within close distance with each other and interact more. A cohort, as I said, is a group of people who share a similar background and have a similar perspective on things. Next comes Tuxman's. Then comes Tuxman's stage of team life. So, in every team you will find 5 different stages. Number 1 is form, then number 2 will come storm, then 3 will come norm, and then perform, and lastly adjourn. We will see this one by one in this diagram. This is already given in your book. This is number 1 is forming. Forming means where every individual comes together, form a group for particular purpose, for particular activity, particular goal. So, that is called forming of a group. To form, team acquaints and establishes ground rules, formalities are preserved and members are treated as strangers. In initial stage, when the groups are formed, that particular time every individuals are unknown to each other. So, they are strangers at that particular point. So then comes storming stage. Storming means second stage. Members starts to communicate their feelings but still view themselves as individuals rather than part of the team. They resist control by group leaders and show hostility. Here individuals have already formed the group. Now in second stage, that is storming, they all will feel themselves as an individual. They are not attached to that group. This stage everyone will present their views as an individual views. Then comes norming stage. In this norming stage, that is third of the stage, people feel part of the team and realize that they can achieve work if they accept others' viewpoint. In this stage, every individuals have already presented their views, and here the other team members need to understand that I have to accept the other views, then only then I can achieve the target for which we have formed this group. Then comes performing stage. This is the actual where every team members, every individuals have to perform. Without performing, without individuals contribution, team would not be able to achieve the target. So this comes, the team works in an open and trusting atmosphere where flexibility is key and hierarchy is of little importance. Here hierarchy is not at all important because every individual has to perform. They have to work in an open and trusting atmosphere. The last stage, after completing the task, as I said, the team will disperse. We can use the words adjourning, or adjourning means the last stage where after completing the task, after completing the project, the team will adjourn, means they all go to their particular departments, they adjourn. The team is adjourned, means they all separate. The team conducts an assessment of the year and implements a plan for transitioning roles and recognizing members' contribution. This is the last stage. This has to follow after completing all the tasks. Next we will see why groups come together, groups goals. Number one is circumplex model of group task. Circumplex model of group task. This model defines many activities undertaken by group. It also lays a distinction between the basic four goals of a group. Number one is generating ideas. When we form a groups, the number one purpose of our group goal is to generate the ideas, where groups devise strategies or ideas to complete their assigned task. So, circumplex model of group tasks, in that number one is generating the ideas. Then comes B, choosing a solution. You all are individuals, you all the team members are individuals. So, every members have different types of ideas. We need to understand it. What we have to do, we have to take different ideas and we have to choose a solution in that. It involves selecting among the alternatives for a given issues. You have different ideas, among all of them you have to select particular solutions. Number 3 comes, number C is negotiating solution. Negotiating solution means their goals are to be solved any sort of dispute among members related to group task. If you have form a group, if you are in group, then different types of opinions will automatically come, and this may leads to controversy, this may leads to issues, this may leads to a grievance between you all. So, here in this stage you have to solve any sort of disputes among the members. Then comes executing a task. As I said, groups always form to complete a particular task for particular goal. So, in this last you have to execute a task. It involves the actual performance of the activities. You have to perform this, you have to perform the actual task for which you have formed the group, like participating in competition or etc. Next, group goals, in that it is divided into two. Number one is conceptual behavioral goals and number two is cooperation, that is conflict goals. We will see next. SMART goals. We should always follow the SMART goals. What does it mean? We will see. S means, that is specific, we should be very specific. Then our goal should be measurable. Number 3 is achievable. Our goal should always be achievable. Number as R stands for relevant. It should be relevant to particular task. It should be relevant for the groups. Number last, T stands for time bound. You should have time bound. This approach was given by Peter Drucker. What is the group norms? We will see what group norms means. Group norms are the rules and regulations that control the functioning of the group members. It helps members to work in similar pattern. It also helps in reducing any sort of interpersonal conflicts. In simple terms, how you are supposed to behave, that is called group norms. If you don't have group norms, every individual will work in a different way, different direction. So, here group norms will suggest to you how you have to behave, how you have to perform the task. Next, emotions. What is group emotions? Group emotions are the way each member feels and react to different situations. It is an integral part of a group and a major driver for building cohesiveness. Here, each member feel and react in different emotions. So, it is an integral part of group and major drivers for building cohesiveness. Now, in that, number one is top down. In what do you mean by top down? These are the standard forms of emotions learned by the members after joining the group. This originates as a norm affecting the members in how they feel, their action and how they think. Then number 2 comes bottom up. Bottom up means signifies the emotional attributes that an individual possessed even before joining the group. Now comes concept of group emotion is characterized as, we will see one by one. Group emotions are like adhesive that binds the members together, as we have seen. Emotions always bind the members to the emotion always binds the members who come together for a particular task. Then group emotions are normative, establishing what are acceptable and what not, because every individual has different types of behavior. It does not mean that every individual's behavior is good for that particular task, particular group, and it is so it is not that every individual's behavior is acceptable. So, you have to be very clear what should be acceptable and what should not. Then comes emotion says lot about people. Thus, group emotion reflects its maturity. Then emotions are dominant forces affect how an individual responds to situation, as we can understand this in our individual's behavior, individual's life also emotions plays a very important role. Your mood will fluctuate if anyone hurts you. So, that is all very important. It is dominant source, dominant force affects how an individual responds to a particular situation. Then features of groups with norms. Number 1, they are either written down as instruction or communicated orally to all the members. Number 2 is act as a steering aid. Norms guide the members about the expected behaviors and styles of working. Number 3 is norming is a gradual process. In this, it takes place gradually with the development of the group. Number 4 is norms are the rules for the members that need to be adhered to. In case any members refuse to follow the rules, the prescribed norms, he or she can be boycotted by the other group members, because if you are in a group, you have to perform the particular way, as per the norms of the group you have to behave. The norms vary with the profile, position and candidature of each members. Group comprises of individuals with varying capabilities are flexible to suit them. Number 6 is it specifies the responsibility of the members. Norm specifically lays down the duties and responsibility to fulfilled by each member. This helps in role clarification. Next is mechanism behind the conformity. Conformity means what? It is an act of matching attitudes, beliefs and behavior to group norms. Main forces at work in group situation. Number 1 is informational influence. In this, it believes that the group has a better understanding of the situation or has spatial information or expertise. Next comes minority influence. Minority influence is most likely when people can make a clear and consistent case for their point of view. Next is normative influence, that extreme discomfort that comes from speaking out against the group even when one knows they are wrong. Then gender influence, as we have seen in our day-to-day life also. There are differences in way men and women conform to social influence. Social psychologist Alice Eagle and Linda Carl performed a meta-analysis of influence ability. According to them, women are more persuadable and more conforming than men in group pressure situations that involve surveillance. In this situation, not solving surveillance, women are less likely to conform. Then problems of conformity. One is personality characteristics of a group member. Then stimuli that evoke conformity. Number 3 is situational factors, and number 4 intra-group relationship. Group dynamics. What do you mean by group dynamics? In that, number 1 is group composition. One of the determining factors for group success is way it is composed. Group compositions help in building the other components like cohesiveness, norms and group thinking. Next is leadership. To work in the right direction, it is necessary to be led by someone. Number 3 is cohesiveness with group. Cohesiveness refers to the degree of acceptance each members have to the other members. Whether group is cohesive or not can be ascertained from the following points. A. Less number of members. B. Unanimity of opinions. C. Adherence of group norms. D. High level of output by members. E. Cooperation and conformity. F is positive outlook. Number 4, group norms. As we have already seen, role clarity within the group, it is very important. Without role clarity, no one will able to perform in a better way. Then group things, it is a degree to which the members work in a collaboration with each other. Let us sum up. We have already seen what we have studied. Let us sum up. We have studied what is the difference between team and the group. We have seen various dimensions of groups to refers to set of people working together for a common goal. We have also studied the Tuckman's 4 stages. Last unit explained group dynamics, which is an important subject that explain the reasons for specific behavior of its members. Then we have studied the composition, norms, attitude and cohesiveness related with groups, and that makes every group a distinctive entity. All these different dimensions of group dynamics. We have also studied the goal setting theory. Then we have studied the concept of group norms. Group were discussed as are an important factors to understand changing relation between group members. Please read our online content, participate in the competition, participate in the question answers, do email us your feedback. Thank you. स्वाध्यायः परमं तप